Good morning, and it is the 5th of May 2011, almost 10 o'clock Eastern Time at the recording of this video, and a lot's definitely going on. Before we get started with the charts, I was noticing something interesting this morning, and that was the first minute volume on SLV. And it's the most volatile, or the heaviest volume is the first minute. I think that's the case for every stock. And today I noticed it said 76 million. And that was pretty big, especially when yesterday had 7 million in the first minute and 7 or 6.9 on Tuesday. I have some archive days. 3 days in September, 1 million, 3/4 and a half. And then in November, this November 5th, 8th, 9th period, that was the heaviest volume back then. And the biggest volume day had 3.6 million the first minute. Now, it's not 76 million anymore. It's changed. It's now, I think, 18 million or 13 point something million. This is from freestockcharts.com. But what's interesting is I managed to get a copy of their data before they changed it. And this is what they have here. 7.664166E plus 7. Now, to let you know what this means, it means 7 plus 7 digits or 7 zeros, although 6 meaning 76 million, which is what you see here. So I find that extremely interesting. And also, when you look at this, that's a lot of shares when you consider how much silver is being mined. The biggest reason for the crash seems to be due to the SLV. Now, I don't have the stats of the real silver volume, but the SLV volume is much, much higher in their comparison with that of the COMEX. So very interesting. This I talked about this trend line here, and it didn't find support. If it does, it's going to be a pierce, and it's got a bottom now pretty much. And even for that 39 level that I talked about, it can't go much further before it's too big of a pierce. A pierce meaning a small hit above or below a selected area. And the trend line that I was talking about yesterday, it's still active. I guess if we draw this out, then we'll be breaking 20 pretty soon. Maybe by the end of next week. I don't think so, but you never know. This chart is the silver market over the last so many years, priced in pounds. There's no dates on here, but it's been over 11,000 days. It's a little easier for me to do it this way, especially when I'm trying to do this pretty quick. But the key points that I want to go over on this, one is a trend line. Not much to say about this because of the fact that I've talked about this many times before. You break resistance to the upside, that gives you super strong strength. A lot of times when that's the case, you wouldn't mind coming back, finding support. It's hard to see on this where we are, but it's right there, which is also the level of the previous highs, meaning in pounds, silver has made new highs. New all-time highs. New nominal all-time highs. Now in the United States, it's pretty much matched it. But here in Canada, it's a little bit different because when it was $50 silver in 1980, it was about 56 or 60 or something in that area here. And when it was 50 in the United States, it was about, what was it, 46 or something here? I can't remember, but it was definitely lower. So I find that very interesting to say the least. Now the direction from the 50-day high, 50-day low, I was stating within this, what I needed to see is I needed to see it establish higher lows. That hasn't happened yet, meaning something like this to say a short position would actually be good. This is not normal market activity for this to happen, but it's happening, and when you have the forces doing what they're doing, then that's going to make the technicals look like this. And people state, well, technicals don't work, it's the fundamentals. Well, I look at this, the technicals are giving you major red alerts for these kinds of things happening. The technicals won't tell you what's going on, but they'll tell you something is going on. And it's pretty simple to determine this. Now, as far as the 5-day moving, or this one in here, we're getting closer now towards here. What I would like to see for a buying opportunity is I would actually like it to see come back down to this 10% mark and then establish some sort of buying trend, sort of like the one that was in here, as was the one in here. If that can happen, that would be superb. All right, now this one here, this is the comparison to the 1979, and now obviously we are now well underperforming what happened, but I think the similarities that is what happening within this time is the major fall after, of course, it was going higher. Now this one, it's skyrocketed as high as it's been falling, basically. So in a law of polarity, it's pretty much doing the same thing. However, it did crash pretty hard. Now look at, this is the rate of descent. If we match this up to this top, then we can see here that we haven't even sold as much as we did in a short period of time like we did in 1979 before the market went up, because it got wild in here. Going from here to here, now going from here to here. People on CNBC, I was watching a lot of it this morning, and they're really talking bearish about it, talking about George Soros selling it, and quite frankly, this is pretty cool to see, because it wouldn't have surprised me if they had the media like they did today, CNBC like they did today, that in 1979 here they would have been saying, "Oh, the market's down so much. Is it topping? Yes, it is." Okay, well, I'll let you believe that if you wish. Well, thank you for watching this, and I'll probably come out again with something later on, but I'll probably wait a little bit for it. So, enjoy the manipulated market.